Good morning, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm. Thursday morning. I'm recording this a little after 8:30 a.m. Let's bring you up to date on what's going on this morning and what we can expect with snow coming our way as we wrap up the work week on Friday. First things first, the radar fairly quiet this morning, but there is some mist and drizzle still falling, and with temperatures still around 32-ish in some places. A little bit of an additional glaze on some surfaces might be possible, but this is all pretty low impact. We only had a couple of school adjustments this morning. The roads were generally fine last night, and I expect them to be generally fine during most of the day today. It's a whole different story off to our south. It's a big severe weather day in parts of the southeast. Tornado watch is already out for parts of the deep south and heading into parts of Georgia. But for us, nothing as far as severe weather around here, but what we will see is temperatures very slowly rising today. Now, we're still right around freezing in a lot of spots as of 8:30 or so this evening. Warmest spots down towards the Ohio River in southern Columbiana County. I think as we get into the afternoon today, temperatures are likely to warm into the lower 40s down towards East Liverpool and Lisbon and Salineville, whereas parts of Mahoning, Trumbull, Mercer counties will probably stop around 36 to 37, above freezing pretty safely for parts of this afternoon. Now, as we head into this evening, some precipitation is likely to break out once again, and by this evening, those air temperatures will be sliding back towards freezing. The air aloft at the cloud level will be well above freezing. And so we've got another threat for a few hours of some sort of a wintry mix or some freezing rain this evening. This is the simulated radar at 8 o'clock this evening. Notice the pinks and purples here. There can be some sleet and freezing rain and a few wet snowflakes and a few raindrops and just sort of a light wintry mix. So we'll have to be a little bit careful out there this evening. There may be some slick spots on some untreated surfaces this evening. Now, this is all going to transition over to just plain old snow by the wee hours of Friday morning. So this is the simulated radar at 5 a.m. on Friday. Now, this morning's rush hour was no big deal. Friday morning's rush hour could be a little bit of a different story. Now, we're not expecting all the snow in the world here, but I am anticipating the possibility of some slick spots Friday morning with snow coming down. At the very least, visibility will be low with the snow falling. It may have a hard time sticking much initially on the major roads if it's light enough, but as this snow picks up in intensity a little bit, yeah, you can plan on a slower than average commute on Friday morning. And actually, the snow is going to stick around for a fair chunk of the day. It's going to start to taper off to flurries, I think, by the early afternoon hours, and so this will probably be less impactful for the evening commute on Friday, and probably not much more than a flurry or two by the end of the day or on Friday. How much snow are we talking about? Here's our current model spread. I'll get out of the way here. You notice one of our models, the NAM, goes kind of crazy here. That's probably overdone. We have a model consensus, though, with some of our other model information here of around 2 inches, which I think is pretty reasonable. Here's a look at the forecast I went out with last night, and I probably would not change this much today. I would probably emphasize a lot of places are going to be a little bit closer to the 3 than the 1. I think 1 inch is pretty much in the bag at this point across our area. Our entire television viewing area stands a very good chance of getting an inch of snow very late tonight and heading into the day Friday. And I think more people are going to be closer to the top end of this range, up towards 3 inches. Now, at most 3-4 inches, that's something that can't be ruled out. It's not the most likely accumulation, but I can't rule out up to 4 inches worth of snow in some spots. I think a lot of places are going to be around 2.5, 3 or so inches worth of snow very late tonight and heading into the day on Friday. So you can plan on slower than average travel for at least the first half of the day on Friday, tapering off to flurries in the afternoon. It's going to be blustery and cold all day. Temperatures mostly in the 20s on Friday and wind chills mostly upper teens, so around 20. We do have a calmer weekend ahead. As we get new model information, I'll of course bring you up to date on social media today, and I'll have a full recap of today's activity and tomorrow's forecast this evening on 21 News at 6 and 11, and on the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. It's Weather for Weather Geeks. That'll be online by 7 o'clock this evening.